people to hear me eating.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, I know how that can be sometimes. That's for
I need to
sure.
eat breakfast. Like I work what some people call like the time that I go to work, and when I get off of work, I work functionally the graveyard shift.
Yeah,
So like I woke up I got home yesterday at like 4:30, and I ate what I picked up because I went to IHOP, and then I just went to sleep. And I woke up because my pest control man came to my house around 10:30, and once he was done on the floor that I was on, I went back to sleep, and then I woke up at like 4:30, like no
yeah,
5:30.
yeah.
So Papa's a little tired tonight. Actually, I don't know why I said that. I'm fucking tired tonight. I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Well, how you
Uh,
doing, man?
what was that?
How are you doing?
No, pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah, just been hanging out. Just got done with my first week back at work.
Yeah, that first day, you're still in vacation mode. You're like, ah, fuck, I hate these people. What do you
Yeah,
want?
exactly, exactly,
Get out
exactly.
of my face. Stop asking all them stupid ass questions.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. But in any case, let's get things started. So, it's Kanoshi Bamita here with another project console. The title of this episode is Wowey Zoey. And
Mhm.
before we get started, I'd like my panelists to introduce themselves.
Yeah, it's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. Glad to be on another cast, especially one that I don't have to run, so I can just be here and do stuff, which is amazing. Uh,
Yeah.
and looking forward to talking about some of these topics.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. Mario Brothers Wonder came out. I picked it up, played a bit of it. I think
Yeah.
it's a pretty good game. It's feels a little bit more imaginative than the new Super Mario Brothers games. Feels like it's a little more inspired. Um, a lot of people are calling it like the unofficial or the not unofficial, but like the true successor to Mario World. Uh, I don't know. Have you played this game yet?
I have it. I have not played it yet. Um, from what I've seen of it, I'm not going to call it the successor to Mario World because everyone is always saying that. Oh, this is the next Mario World. The closest game I've played of recent years to a successor to Mario World, where I got that Mario World feeling, and you're talking to the, like I was 5 years old when Super Mario World came out, and I played the shit out of that game. So if anyone's qualified to talk about something feels like Mario World, it's me. Is New Super Mario Brothers U. That game felt like, oh, this is like Mario World. Like in terms of like level design and sound and like how it felt when you were running around and playing it. Now, when I say like it felt like, I mean the closest, all right? Because there's really nothing like Mario. Like Nintendo hasn't made a Mario World as like to me. There's no Legend of Zelda that feels like it approaches a Link to the Past for me.
Yeah.
So, but the closest you gonna get was New Super Mario Brothers U. Mario Wonder, like I said, I haven't really played it, but I've seen people playing it, and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. It
Yeah.
looks like what someone in my age group, who maybe a little bit younger, who doesn't hold the reverence for like Super Mario World, would make if they were told to make something in the vein of Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just like the people who are saying that it's like Super Super Mario World was such a touchstone for like what was going on at the time, and it hit at the right time. It's like we're never gonna get a 3D Mario game like Mario Galaxy 1 or 2
Yeah. Yeah.
again. Like it just ain't gonna happen. And I wouldn't want them to, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, remember how Mario Origami King was supposed to surpass Thousand Year Door?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is going to surpass Thousand Year Door. I'm like, I don't know about that. Then it came
Yes.
out, I was like,
So,
yeah.
currently right now, Mario Wonder is sitting at a 93. So it's going to be
Yeah.
in many people's game of the year list. Like, like, it's going to be in that discussion for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not against that. I'm just gonna say this right here. Have we ever even a mediocre 3D Mario game? I mean, 2D Mario game is still pretty goddamn good because Nintendo knows how to make. No, they know how to make 3D games.
Yeah,
Like they're good at. I mean, 2D Mario games. They're good at it.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
really good at it.
Yeah, even the lackluster ones are fairly competent.
Yeah, I mean, like New Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
That's like the weakest 2D Mario game I've played, and it's still pretty goddamn good. So I'm like, and people are acting like, oh my god, this is, oh, it's, I mean, there isn't a weak 2D Mario. All of them are, even the handheld ones, are good. Like Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Land, good. Super Mario Land 2, good. Super Mario Land 3 when it turned into the Wario series, good. Like, none of those games are going to be like, I'm not saying they might not be for everybody, but no one's going to be like, oh, this is unplayable. This is fundamentally broken.
Yeah.
So when people are like, yeah, whatever.
I like all the, even though they're not entirely different, I mean, they have certain elements and stuff to them. Like all the playable characters, sometimes I just switch between Mario and Daisy.
Oh, yeah. The question,
that's
do the
cool.
playable characters have different playable characteristics, or is it just palette swap, basically?
I think it's just palette swap. They have slightly different scenarios. Like there are certain blocks that only certain characters can see. There's not
Okay.
like, it's not like Mario 2 where every character plays, where the characters play vastly different. Like, Peach
Or
float.
3D Land.
Yeah.
3D
I mean, Yoshi obviously plays different. Yoshi and
Yeah, but that's easy mode right there.
easy mode. Yeah, Yoshi's easy mode.
Yeah, we don't play easy mode around here. We're hardcore.
But the thing, one thing about Yoshi is that if you're playing with a group of people, you can ride him.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of
Yeah. That's like, there's some small things in that game where I'm like, this was a missed opportunity. Like, why don't we have rideable Yoshis?
yeah.
No, I don't mean like in terms of like gameplay wise, where someone's playing as Yoshi and it's. I mean like literally, why don't we have like Yoshi that's like, oh well,
Power up, yeah.
yeah, like they did back in the day, like small things I've noticed in this game where I'm like, okay. But it's just a lot of small stuff. It's nothing like, oh my god, this is unplayable. These bastards. So yeah, I have the game. I went on the Nintendo store and with my account and bought it, and it's downloaded to my Switch, but I'm not actually, playing it right now because
Got other
Starfield.
stuff to do. Oh yeah.
No, Starfield. I will be playing Starfield for the rest of this year and into next year.
Yeah. Yeah. So, a game I did not play, but people are talking about, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is out. They got a 90 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
So, again, that's another game that's going to be on the list for people's game of the year. I don't... There's so many games that came out, like, scored significantly.
This was a good year for games.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to fit it. That's going to be hard for, I think, a lot of your various publications and YouTubers to fit everything. Because there's a lot of stuff that came out this year that was that was worth picking up. Yeah, we haven't had
Well,
a year like this for a while.
I have a slight issue because I'm an
What's that?
asshole. Uh, my slight issue is I don't like the. I'm not a huge fan of the Sony Spider-Man games.
Yeah, I can see
Uh,
that.
I
They're just really pretty versions of the ones that we got on the PS2. The
well, I
gameplay.
mean, gameplay wise. Now the story, they do some things where I'm like, I'm not down with that. Like in the first game, they do some shit where I'm like, they're like, we want to put our own twist on it. It's like I don't want you putting your own twist on
Like what they
Spider-Man mythos. All
like
right.
what they like what they did with Venom in the new Spider-Man game. I won't
I mean,
spoil
but
it
it was
here
that was
because you can see.
they kind of telegraphed that in the first game.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that, and yeah, it definitely. It didn't surprise me when somebody spoiled it for me because I was like, yeah, that seems
Yeah,
about right.
and they killed off Aunt May in the first game, and I'm like, fuck you. Uh, I don't like here like, and this is just the comic book, the Marvel. Like, I have three characters that I am a huge fan of in comics. In Marvel, okay. I love the Hulk. I love Spider-Man, classic Spider-Man. I don't give a shit about Miles Morales. I know everyone's like, Miles Morales, the Black Spider-Man. Look, okay, Miles Morales came about because Marvel spun off into an alternate universe called the Ultimate Universe, where they had like new versions of these characters, like Ultimate Hulk, Ultimate Captain America, Ultimate Thor, Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man died, and the mantle passed on to the new Spider-Man in that universe, which was Miles Morales. When they got rid of the Ultimate line, they just rolled Miles Morales into the new universe.
Yeah,
Problem is that there's not been any good writing for Miles Morales at all.
yeah, that's
Like,
what I've heard from people that really follow this stuff. Is that Miles Morales is not exactly like I hear people that like Miles Morales or people who just have taken in the Marvel universe, like cinematic and video game stuff. Not
yeah,
people
like
who take in the comic.
the problem with Miles Morales is that there's no really like there's no like interesting storylines with him. He hasn't been well written. There's no good runs with the character. And like Marvel's big thing is the people who like Miles Morales. Well, he's black though. I'm like, that's not a good reason to support someone just because they're black.
Yeah, and the funny
Um,
thing is, either Insomniac doesn't care about Miles Morales because they screwed up the flag. His flag is supposed to be Puerto Rican. There's a flag of his house that's supposed to be Puerto Rican, and they turned it Cuban. They confused the Cuban flag with the Puerto Rican flag. It's like,
I
how did
mean,
that get past Q&A?
no, they could probably say, well, this is our own, because they're already doing a lot of shit in these games. Like they killed off Aunt May. Like there's a lot of things they changed out. So what Insomniac's doing is its own alternate universe. So maybe in that universe, Miles Morales is Afro-Cuban. Which I mean, look, man, both Cuba and
Puerto
Cuba
Rico?
and Puerto Rico were slave colonies. So, conceivably speaking, Europeans could have fucked over those people too. You never know.
Yeah.
Um, you know, with the whole slave trade and all that shit. But so I mean, I'm not really angry about that because, like I said, I'm not wedded to Miles Morales as a character. Some people are. They're like, I love Miles Morales. I'm like, I don't really give a shit. Um, like I said, my favorite Marvel characters. Marvel has some of my favorite characters. DC has some of my favorite hero. Um, so I love Spider-Man, the Hulk, um, Captain America. Love those characters.
Yeah.
But in terms of like heroes, my favorite hero in my favorite superheroes, like comic book wise, I only have one. I love Superman
Yeah.
because Superman fought the Klan, and look, Superman beating the shit out of Klan members, just that brings a smile to my face. So you like attacking people because of the color of their skin, huh? Ping! Ah! You punched that guy's face off with a forefinger flick. Yes, I did. And no one's gonna believe you, because I'm Superman. The only time I'd be cool with Superman killing people. Going Homelander on some people. White supremacists? Absolutely. Yeah. What happened here? Hey man, Superman came in there and killed a whole bunch of people at a Klan rally. Aren't you gonna do something, Senator? Nah. Why should I? Fuck those people. Anyway, yeah, so, like, the thing that gets me about this new thing is just I'm getting so tired of Sony fanboys. Oh, this could only have been done on the PS5. Bullshit. Because we all know eventually this game is gonna hit PC.
Well, yeah, and this game, and they updated the game, and apparently they broke it. They broke the game. Day one update.
This game is gonna hit PC, and when it does, we all know what's gonna happen. All right, it's gonna hit PC, and it's gonna run just like what's his name? What was the name of that damn game?
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. Oh, this can only be done on the PlayStation. And then it comes out and it's like, oh, wait a second, this shit could have came out. It runs better on PC than it does on PS5.
Yeah.
Which surprises no one. Obviously, it would run better on a gaming PC than on the PlayStation. Like, why? Why are we acting like, oh, I can't believe that? We people keep on believing the bullshit from Sony.
Yeah.
And I can't wait until this game comes out on PC so I can get it and play it modded with Tobey Maguire as Spiderman. Because I don't like Tom Holland, Spider-Man, because he's annoying.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is an annoying Spider-Man.
Anyway, so Spider-Man 2, one of the issues that happened is that they had a day one update and it broke the game for some people. So there have been compilation videos that are kind of funny to see, you know, everything from falling through the world to
Sorry, that's funny to me.
animation errors while swinging, even turn into like a white block. So yeah, it's I don't think
So
it's
what you're
enough for
saying
everybody,
is,
but some people.
so what you're saying is, even for Sony, the legacy of modern gaming for first-party games, because Nintendo's had this too. They've all had it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know how widespread the issue is, but you know, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it, but you know, I saw some maybe they fixed it, but who knows.
All I'm going to say is this. Modern gaming is trash. Remember back in the day when you would just get a game and put the shit in, put the cartridge in, put the disc in?
Yeah.
And it would just play?
Yeah.
Remember that shit? Turning to old man Stinky right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
Back in my day, the games just worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not now. And even first-party games aren't immune to being broken as fuck at launch.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how you have a game that releases broken as fuck at launch when, like, okay. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it is a mitigating factor, okay? If you're a third party and a game has to be across 4 different SKUs, I can understand you having issues.
Yeah.
Sony, you only had to make this game for one architecture.
Yeah, exactly. And this was the only game they had coming out this year. This is
Yeah,
this is their biggest title this year.
this is all they got. This is all you getting from Sony first party.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you can't get this shit, if you can't get one game that you only had one studio working on, I don't know what to tell you except Sony, get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly.
Sony, get your shit together. Get it together, Sony.
So, other than Spider-Man blowing up, they're Alan Wake. So Alan Wake 2 is supposed to come out, I think this week. Um, yeah, in a couple days. And, well, the system requirements came out. And, let's see if I can find it.
And
And they're pretty beefy. So on those settings, minimum. So this is PC requirements. Alan Wake 2. This is for graphic preset. DLSS. Wait a minute, okay, so this is low settings. So 1080p. You want to play at 1080p, 30 FPS. GeForce RTX 2060 or Radeon 6600. 6 gig of RAMs. Quality for DLSS, FSR. Intel i5 R7. And for medium settings, for 1440p 30 or 1080 60, this is where things get really crazy.
you mean they get fucked?
Yeah, so for 1080p 60, you need a G4, you need an RTX 3080, a 60 or not 3080, 3070, 6700 XT, 8 gigs of RAM. This is for performance, which is the lowest tier, lower DLSS, so that's gonna scale the resolution to 540p native. So it's gonna run 540p native and then 1080p upscaled using their.
This is their GPU, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
It's for the RTX 3070. Or
all right.
And the 6700 XT. Ryzen 7 3700X or Intel equivalent, 16 gigs of system memory, which is starting to become the norm. And that's the medium settings. And at high settings,
yes,
at 1080p, at 2160p, 460 FPS, 60 FPS max, and this is with DLSS on. GeForce RTX 4070, Radeon 7800 XT, 12 gigs of RAM, and this is for performance, meaning that it's probably going to be scaled to at 1440. Actually, no, 2160p is 4K. It's probably going to be scaled to like 1080p, and then upscaled using DLSS. So the specifications for middle of the road performance, what really what I wanted to focus on here, is pretty crazy because 3070, it's or 67 for XT are both pretty proficient cards. You know, they're not. When it comes to mid range to edge of higher range, they're no slouches. They're pretty fast. They're pretty fast cards. Um, but and another problem with this is that they've released their PC requirements like at least a few days before the game came out. Another game that did this was Forspoken, which a lot of people had trouble running that game when it came out.
Yeah, but that game was poorly optimized.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's a speculation that this game is poorly optimized and they're just giving people essentially the worst case scenario pertaining to their pertaining to these specs. Because Control, that game ran a little weird, and then you have not Alan Wake, Quantum Break, which was apparently a mess on PC. Because it wasn't as optimized as it could have. It wasn't well optimized. So we might, as great as this year has been for games, there's also been some real stinkers. Real, just like, real like, what the heck, what the hell? You have Star Wars, which by all accounts, people said there was a good game in there. It was just a mess.
What, Jedi Survivor?
It's Jedi Survivor, although it has gotten better.
I mean, the thing is that the development team behind that were given a choice. They could either optimize the game to run across multiple platforms and lower the graphical fidelity, or they could hit for the fences. They hit for the fences.
And that sounds like what this game is going to do. And it sounds like this is what this game is going to be. They shoot for, they optimize these games for where this game is probably optimized, or the target is a 4090, and then the common denominator is just going to be an afterthought. So if you got like a 3060 or 6600 XT, you might just be out of luck. Or you're just going to have to really temper your expectations. What were you going to say?
No, what I was going to say is, the thing that kind of gets me about this, where I'm like, people are like, oh, this is so, how are they going to do that, blah, 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 is, how can I put this nicely without sounding like a dick? Like, the graphics, like, Intel realized that they're not going to be able to go against the high-end market with, they can't go against the high-end market.
Yeah.
They don't have the chops. So, what are they going to do? What can they do? Well, what they can do is they can go for the mid tier and low end budget market. Because, like, here's the thing: they have the what's the word? They have the fabs to be able to make that shit cheap, or cheaper than what Joe Blow average consumer could get their hands on. So for them, it makes sense for them to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, everyone was thinking they were going to make some high-end shit, which was, that's on you. No one, like, common sense dictates that they're not going to spend that type of money for stuff like that. Like, that's just not going to be a thing. I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me. But people are like acting like, oh, they betrayed me. It's like, calm down, bro. Calm down. That's it.
Hey, whatever. That, yeah, um, yeah. I mean, the game could be good. I mean, again, this could just be the worst case scenario, and it comes out, and it's not nearly as busted as the. Because one of the things when they sent out review codes for Alan Wake, they gave it they gave people PC codes and not console codes. So I would be more worried about the console version of this game than the PC version of this game.
Yeah.
Console version of this game is probably gonna be a state of it. It's gonna be a sad state of affairs. Uh, Sometimes the thing about PC gaming is you can just throw more technology at it, hope it runs. But sometimes that's not always the case either. Sometimes the game's just broken no matter what you
Yeah. I mean, how can I put this nicely? Because I don't want to be a dick. I think people are. Um, I think people are easily. How can I? What's the word? How can I put this nicely? I think people are easily swayed by emotional appeals. I think that I think that it's really not that bad. I think that it's look. Listen, Intel is making a mid-tier card, like a mid-tier entry-level budget card. What? How much does it cost? Like $2.99?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you want something you can just slam in there and call it a day.
Yeah, yeah.
But people just, I mean, people need to calm the fuck down, man.
Yeah. Well, in any case, so there's a big CPU launch this week. Um, Intel's new CPU, their 14th gen Raptor Lake refresh, which I'm surprised people were surprised. I mean, I guess they were just frustrated with the marketing. Why call it the 1400 series and not just call it like 1350 or something like that? You know,
You keep on.
13650.
This was NVIDIA?
No, and Intel.
Intel? I mean, I keep on telling people, look, man, they're just trying to.
They're just trying to sell the shit.
Yeah. Look, listen, man. They're just trying to stay alive, man. They just look, man. They just trying to get rid of. They're trying to get rid of all the old inventory before they get the new shit.
Yeah, yeah, and it probably is just a better Ben version of the 13 series, which seems like some of the reviews I've seen, it seems to be the case. But,
People are acting like, oh my god, they did this. Like, man, calm down, bro.
yeah, I mean,
It's not that bad.
the 15 series is probably gonna be it's probably gonna be the month. It's probably gonna be a beast. It's probably gonna be pretty good. This is just a stopgap, just to keep investors happy, to make it look like something's happening over there. And all these companies do it. And people are shocked that they brought out this mid tier. It's not even mid tier. They brought out this like baby step, like barely even half a baby step product. It's just kind of what they do. Sometimes some years it's just a complete waste of sand, and other years, our minds are blown. This performance is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I keep on telling people this. All of this shit is just there to make people are getting confused about. People are thinking about the wrong shit.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, it gets clicks, it gets views.
It's like,
You
oh
know,
my
they start
god.
talking.
No, sorry. Yeah.
I remember when AMD was, you know, trouncing all over Intel for a little bit, and it's like I kept seeing videos
A
like
month.
for like a month. And it's like people making videos. Oh, is Intel doomed? Are they done? It's like no, they're a billion. They're like a multi-billion-dollar company. They can afford to make at least, you know, 100 mistakes before they go
It's like
complete
Nintendo.
tits up. Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo can afford to make it. They can afford to fuck up so much. They can afford to fuck up so much that like you wish you had that type of money where you could fuck up at that level.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So people need to understand that shit.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, people were talking about them, right? I mean, AMD hasn't released a new processor, so it, you know, keeps keeps
Well,
their name in the media's mouth. So
AMD
it's
is
working
planning
fine.
on it. They're releasing a what's the word? Shit. I forgot the name of it. It's a they're going to release their workstation stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Never mind. They did come out with a new CPU. It was a workstation CPU. It was a consumer. Well, I mean, it's still about a five. It's still around a $5,000 CPU. But they
I
came out
mean,
with their Threadripper CPU stuff. I forgot. I forgot all about that.
they're also going to release some new. They're also going to release one that's more consumer. There's a pro one for people who are making that shit, and there's a consumer grade one for you know, Joe Blow average consumer who wants a Threadripper.
Yeah.
Or really the mid tier, the mid tier person who doesn't mind putting down like 2-3 grand on a CPU that they're going to have for the next 10-15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like if you code from home, it's worth your money to do this.
Yeah. 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 Pretty. How much is that? Yeah, cause they were talking about their Threadripper line. I forgot they released that. So yeah, they did release a CPU, but you know,
Two of them.
two of them. Yeah.
They're redoing their Threadripper stuff. They're doing one that's like more commercial, and then one that's more like uh, one's more business oriented, and one's more commercial oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
And that's where people fuck up. They always like, oh my god, if it's not exactly what I want, I'm like, calm down, bro, calm down, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Or don't, I don't care. The choice is yours.
But
But what do you think about it? You like, do you think that like personally, like the more GPU and CPU manufacturers we have in the game, the better it is for the consumers.
yeah.
Like, it's not good that Nvidia is like has 75% of the market share.
Yeah.
That's not good because it means they can charge whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you shouldn't live in a town that only has one grocery store
Yeah.
because that one grocery store can charge whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, that was the that was the problem for a long time. Uh, when Intel was uh, the only really the only game in town.
Mm-hmm.
You just bought AMD because you couldn't afford anything else, or you just hated Intel that much.
I mean, the thing is like Intel would sell you gimped uh, CPUs.
Yeah.
Like they had like a consumer grade model that would basically functionally the same as what a pro would use, but they would like artificially retard the proficiency of the card and then sell it. And it's like, so like if someone knew what they were doing, they could go in there with like a toolkit, a CPU toolkit, and just do 2 or 3 changes, and you could have a card that was the same as a pro grade, consumer grade thing. I'm like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
But Intel, you can't say that Intel for the last like 15, 20 years, if you had an Intel CPU, it's a really good CPU.
Yeah.
Like the quality isn't like Intel didn't do some Nvidia shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where Nvidia's like, oh, we're gonna charge you X amount of dollars for some bullshit that for a card that is functionally worse than a last gen card that's like $1,000 cheaper from the
Or
same company.
yeah. Yeah. Look, and it just for a while, things just were boring because Intel just kind of re-released their CPU with a slight upgrade from the last CPU. It was practically the same thing, and they're like, oh, 4 cores is all you need. And then Ryzen came out and 8, 16, 32 cores, and just took off.
Yeah, but that forced Intel to be innovative yet again.
Yeah.
And now they're on chiplets where they basically, I guarantee that in the future what you're going to have is you're going to like if you want a CPU, you're going to be able to go onto a website and order, like they're going to ask, okay, what do you want your computer to be proficient at? And you're like, you'll say something like, I want to play games, I want to do some media editing, I'm going to be streaming stuff, and blah blah blah, and they will choose different chiplets to put onto a die, and then your card will be made, and then that'll be put into your motherboard, and then they'll build your computer.
Yeah.
Kind of like back in the day when you would order a computer, you would go to a computer store, and they'd say, what are you going to use this computer for? And then they would put all the shit together, put the different cards into your machine, put the software on the machine, and then sell it to you for like $5,000.
Yeah.
Look, it's all come full circle. The circle is now complete.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can say is, hopefully, we'll have some tougher. Hopefully, they'll have some shit where we'll have better. What's the word? Hopefully, in the future, what'll happen is we'll have some better consumer protections for computer. Because right now, it's like what you get is what you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully, it'll get better over time. Because as it is right now, it's just kind of like there's some issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not cool with that. what you get is what you get. I don't like that. There needs to be better consumer protections for electronics. Like Intel, Nvidia, AMD, they shouldn't be able to gimp your shit or sell you a product that is functionally just as functional as something else, but you're never going to get it because they're going to gimp it. That's
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about the thing about like overclocking is practically useless now because the thing that how it used to be is that you could buy, say you could buy like an Intel 7700 or a 7700 or like a 7700K and overclock it to the point where it's you practically get an i9 for for hundreds cheaper since you overclocked it. But these companies wised up and like, we can't let that happen. We can't let that. We can't. We're gonna have to gimp it a little bit so they can't get all of that performance. The problem is, it's just like it. These days, like it's so much. You're just dumping so much heat and so much energy and putting your parts under so much wear and tear for like what 2, 3, 4, 5 extra frames. You know.
Pardon me, could you repeat that?
It's like overclocking is kind of pointless now unless you're like into the competitive scene when it comes to overclocking. Um, because the thing about in the old days when you could overclock a CPU and really get a bang for your buck, so you can practically turn your i7 into an i9. But companies were like Intel and AMD were like, yeah, we can't we can't let people get free performance like this. Uh, so they kind of gimped it, and the
Yeah.
thing is, these days you pour so much when you overclock you pour so much heat, so much energy into your parts, only to get in games like what a couple extra frames, you know.
Yeah, but overclocking also destroys your card.
Yeah, there's definitely degradation. Like that's why you're playing Yahtzee if you're playing Russian roulette if you buy a mining card because that thing was
Yeah, because it's been hard. It's like buying a horse that's been used for racing for like 5 years, and the horse is
yeah
7 years old. It's like this horse has been put through its paces. It's been run hard for most of and that's the thing about a card that's been used for mining or heavily used for overclocking. It's like that card's half life is done. I'm not saying you shouldn't overclock a card. You still can't do it. But if you're gonna do it, make sure the cooling rig that you have on your PC and especially for your card is 2 tiers above what that card is rated.
yeah
So if you have like a 3080, you should be using a cooling rig for that card if you're overclocking it like it's a 4090.
yeah
And it should be liquid cooled.
yeah
Okay? like don't think a fan's gonna cut it. Because basically, it's not the overclocking itself that ruins your card. What ruins the card is the heat.
yeah
And so, if you can keep it cool enough, then that mitigates a lot of the degradation you're going to get. But most people don't do that. They get a card, they get standard whatever, and they're done.
yeah
You know, and that's not going to help you.
yeah that's the problem.
You know,
But
heat is the enemy of all electronics, really.
oh yeah. But in any case, you got any free topic?
I do, but I'm saving it for I'm
Tomorrow?
saving it for tomorrow. So instead, I'm just gonna. My free topic is gonna be in light of Spider-Man 2. What other Marvel or DC? What other comic book would you like to see an Insomniac take like a Spider-Man game done?
Hmm. I like to see. Let's see. I like seeing maybe an X-Men game.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But like, would you want like the core team, or would you want like, you know?
I'm be able to. I don't know. Maybe pick. Use some of the more popular characters, and you pick which character you want to play as, and then their stories tie in together. So you play as all the characters. You get like the the real ending. So
That's fair.
yeah,
That's fair. I just if that happened, I would just like them that for once. Could we please play a? Could we play a game that doesn't constantly have? Could we stop the blowjob culture to Wolverine? Wolverine is a shitty X-Men. Look, he sucks. Okay, he's trash.
yeah.
All right.
I mean, like you said, he is just one of the few X-Men you could pretend to play as a kid.
Yeah.
Over.
I mean, all he. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's one of the reasons it's so popular. Not to I mean, metal claws and the ability to heal fast. I guess is okay. I don't know, but yeah,
All he does is just runs up and slashes into people,
yeah,
which is like lazy as fuck.
yeah,
You know, I'll tell you the moment I knew Wolverine was trash. I read a comic where Scott Summers was like, "I'm tired of you hitting on my girlfriend." No, at the time they were either married or just about to get married. He was like, "I'm tired of you hitting on my sniffing around my girlfriend, my wife." It's like,
yeah,
he's like, "Let's take this to the danger room." And Wolverine talks a lot of shit.
yeah,
He talks a lot. He talks a mad amount of shit. So Scott was like, look, no powers. I'll let you do. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to use my optic beams." Cyclops, you talking about someone beat the shit out of Wolverine? He beat the ever loving shit out of Wolverine. No powers. All martial arts and tactical abilities. Beat the ever loving shit out of him. And I was
yeah,
like, oh, you suck. You're terrible. You like against dudes who don't have powers, Wolverine is great. Against people who have powers, Wolverine's like Batman. You know,
yeah,
like Batman is really impressive if you're just some normal person. Against people who have superpowers, Batman is like, oh, you're useless.
yeah. I guess. As is he kind of tears on that whole everyman idea. And that's probably one of the reasons where you get people that I have no idea.
I mean, I used to like Batman until I realized that most of the crime in Gotham City was caused by, a lot of people who were poor and not having an education resorting to crime because the economic conditions in Gotham are shit. And I'm like, so really what Batman really is a rich guy who didn't get over the trauma of his parents dying, so he goes around beating up poor people. And I'm like, huh, I can't support this character.
Yeah,
It's like, I can't support you as a character anymore because, like, you're not, like, that's not a compelling character, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Batman
I
is
guess
Tony
so.
Stark without being an alcoholic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have all the weird monsters and
Yeah.
psychopaths running around. So I mean, it's just. I mean, you got that probably. I mean, you got that also to deal with.
You know, and he keeps on like people who need to be in jail or put down permanently. He just keeps on taking to the world's easiest insane asylum to get out of.
Yeah.
um,
But,
yeah, I would like to see a Hulk video game.
well, that'd be cool. Yeah. And also,
Environmental destruction where you can like destroy buildings because he's the fucking Hulk.
yeah, yeah. Also, going back to the Batman thing, I know people make fun of that, but at the same time, I kind of get it because there's only so many villains you can write, I guess. And there are villains that are more popular than others. So I guess you gotta have them escape or do something else to keep your audience happy.
I mean, I'm not against that. It's just the thing that bothers me about Batman, once again, is that he is just so fucking. He's annoying. Batman is annoying. He's like Iron Man. It's like Iron Man is annoying.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, I'm Iron Man. It's like, okay. And you know, like people forget, like the people who are fans of Iron Man now, people forget that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created Iron Man because they wanted to create a character who was a piece of shit that people, you know, if we write him well enough, people will like that. Will root for the character. He is not like Iron Man is not a character you're like, yeah, this guy's great. You know, never have I been like watching a. Never have I been like reading Iron Man Avengers comic and been like, oh man, just wait till Iron Man comes. Iron Man's like, shit. Okay, we got Thor, we got the Hulk, we got Captain America, yeah, and we got Iron Man. And it's like I'm not rooting for Iron Man, you know. I like Captain America though, because Captain America punched Hitler in the face. And any character who punches a Nazi in the face, we gotta root for him because he punched a Nazi in the face. This is America, man. We don't appreciate fascists around here. Yeah. So you know, I mean, I don't understand that. That's kind of weird to me. But yeah, I would love to see a Hulk video game. I think a cool premise behind the game would maybe like. There's parts of the game where you're in Banner's form, like where you have to turn into Banner, and then you get to have him transform. Like Banner's Banner's in a grocery store shopping. He's like la da 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 da, and then people come in there try to rob the place, and he's like he's just like he doesn't want to get involved. Like some lady is there, she's like, someone help me. And he's just like, look, I just want to go home. You know, I just want to get out of here. They're like, and the lady's like, you're a coward. He's like, lady, you don't know what's gonna happen if I get involved, okay? And then we can have the famous, you know, the people like, sit your ass down. He's like, look, man, just take the money and get out of here, man. You just leave me alone. What are you talking about? You don't make me angry, man. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah.
Someone and they pistol whip them. It's like at the moment you can have that moment in the game where you're like, oh shit, they done fucked up now. Uh-oh. Yeah, look, he warned you. Look, no one's gonna get mad now. He warned you, and that's your ass now. And have the Hulk backhand someone through a wall, you know, because the Hulk be killing people.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love a Hulk video game. I would love to see the Hulk just beat the shit out of random people. That would be hilarious. So that'd be cool. What else? I know Insomniac's doing a Wolverine game, but I mean, we already have a really good Wolverine game from back in the day.
Yeah, wasn't it on the was it on the PS2 or was it on the
I want to say it was the 360 and the PS3.
The 360 and PS3 game. The game
Yeah,
that
and
came out, I
it
think.
was like rated M,
Oh, that
because
game.
you
Yeah.
have a dude who has claws that slices and dices people. This is not going to be a an E for everyone game. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, this is what this is why I can't root for Wolverine as a hero, because he's a piece, like, this is a, like, Wolverine solves problems in the most vicious and hardcore way possible.
Yeah. He also has
All
like
right.
a tragic ass backstory. So people like the Reggie boys.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he's like Wolverine is like the Punisher. He's like Frank Castle. Like, if you are someone who thinks that the Punisher is a hero, you need to be examined, because if you think a vigilante who goes around murdering people that he perceives as being problems for society is good, you have problems. Frank Castle is not a hero. Like, I don't know about you, but when I read Punisher comics or I watch the Punisher Netflix series, the whole time I'm just watching it and I'm like, oh man, like I'm not rooting for Frank. I'm seeing how badly he's gonna fuck people up. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
like in season 2 of the Punisher, it opens with him. He's like, I'm gonna quit being the Punisher. I'm gonna work a construction job. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna live my life. And then, he's at the construction site, and someone tries to do some shady shit, and he fucking beats people up with a fucking hammer, the claw end of it, and throws their asses in a ditch, and covers them and pours liquid cement on them. I'm like, fuck, you know, like, I'm not rooting for that. I'm like, oh, what is he gonna do to these bad people? The Punisher is a bad man who does bad things to bad people.
Yeah.
But he's not a hero. You know, like, I don't know why people, they're like, oh my god, he's like, because you'll see people who are like, you'll see people going around with Punisher t-shirts on, and I'm like,
He's he's the unfortunate solution to unfortunate problems.
no, he's the unfortunate solution to something that is not really a problem.
Yeah,
Because the thing is, he's like Batman, right? Like, you know what broke up Batman and Robin? Like, older, like, original Nightwing Robin. You know what broke them up?
What?
Batman beat up this criminal in front of his child. Like, he broke in the apartment that the man was in. It's like, I need the evidence, and he's beat the man in front of his daughter. And Robin's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? He's like, he's a criminal. It's like, no! This man's child's here! You get what I'm saying? There comes a point. Justice tempered without mercy is not justice.
Yeah.
Pure justice, pure punishment without mercy is tyranny.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Punisher is that, like, even the Punisher writers, like he's like, goes to some cops who are like, yeah, we support the Punisher. He's like, I'm a piece of shit. Why are you supporting me? It's like, no, because you'll see people going around, yeah, I support the Punisher. It's like, no, that's not, no. That is not a character to be emulated or admired. You know? But, you know, what do I know? I'm just some guy, you know? I'm just some dude.
So, my free topic is, people just, well, I guess people didn't quite fall for it. But there was a Switch rumor about button layouts on Mario Wonder because somebody supposedly data mined, and they were caught faking the evidence because people were like, where'd you get this information from? And they never responded. So it's just like, yeah, I think when it comes to a lot of these console rumors, because it's just gonna get, I think at some point a lot of this stuff is just going to become more and more elaborate to the point where you know, people are not going to be able to tell truth from truth from lies. Because I mean, in a way, it's already happened, but I think it's gonna get even
Yeah.
worse.
My question is, why would someone manufacture? Um, why would you manufacture evidence like that?
Clout, be like, oh,
Yeah, but
I'm the
it's
guy
not
who
even
found it.
clout though. It's false. It's not. It's not real. It's fake. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
You know.
Infamy is better than no fame at all. You know,
No, no,
it seems like
no. Go ahead.
no to a lot of people on the internet, infamy is better than having no fame at all. Like you know,
No.
they rather they were they'll they'll risk being infamous. You know, they'll risk being infamous. Um, you know, even if it means what I'm trying to say is they would much rather have, even if it's negative attention, they want attention. Attention,
So they're attention whores, and they would
yeah,
rather get negative attention because it's attention.
yeah,
Any attention's better than no attention at all. Whereas
yeah,
I'm the type of person I want to stay under the radar.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want
very much.
nobody looking at me, so I can do my job and go the fuck home.
Like you know, you'll have people bragging about you know games they got early, and they'll stream a game that's not even broke,
Out
that's not
yet,
even out yet. You know, even the embargo hasn't been lifted.
and then
Uh,
act surprised when they get their shit pushed in. Like,
yeah,
why they come down on me? It's like, bruh, I've gotten games early. Okay, we've all gotten little bennies before, because you know sometimes the shipper makes some mistakes and ships the shit early. And you know what I did? I put that shit in my system and played it, and I didn't say a fucking word to nobody.
exactly.
You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? I
yep,
was like, oh, I got to play this early. Okay, keep it moving.
yep,
Not
yep.
these people. It's like I got to tell everybody about what I did, cause I'm an idiot. Look at my stupid ass.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, it's since everybody and their mother is, you know, perched on top of various different towers, looking at Switch 2 rumors. There's going to be a lot of liars, a lot of people who are just gonna look, you know, just gonna throw information out there to get attention.
Yeah,
And it isn't
I
hard. It
mean,
isn't hard to do either.
I'm not against attention. Well, I am against attention whores. I don't know why I said I'm not against. Like I'm gonna try and, both sides have equal valid. Now, sometimes someone's just fucking stupid. Why would you? Why would you do some shit like that? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Or if you do a mock-up that looks so real, like remember how they did those mock-ups of like Final Fantasy 6 done in 2.5D HD 2D
Yeah.
graphics.
Yeah.
And they said this is a mock-up, this is a proof of concept. Wouldn't it be cool if they did this? Yeah, yeah. They didn't say, hey, guess what, Square Enix is working on this. Like, subscribe to my Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Also, for my next fruit topic, Metal Gear Solid. Uh, that came out, and apparently, a lot of disappointment. Not as optimized as it should be. Uh, Runs at 30 FPS on the Switch, which is weird. Which I think those games are ports from the Vita. 'Cause I know the Vita had some of those games, so they just ported over those games to the Switch and probably to the other consoles. And it's like, well, that's it. Uh,
Well, don't forget that don't
yeah,
forget that also that those games are also what's the word I'm looking for? Those games, those games didn't run on 60 FPS on the original PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
So if they did like a old-fashioned PS port of it, it's not gonna run at that speed either.
Yeah,
So
I
this
mean,
isn't necessarily like a, oh, well, they lied to us. It's just, it wasn't going to run at 60 FPS. As a matter of fact, most games on the PlayStation didn't run at 60 FPS.
yeah, I mean the older games didn't run, but like Metal Gear Solid 2, that game ran at 60 FPS. I don't know
Did it?
about the yeah, the second one
Maybe
did.
the GameCube port, but like because I remember just a lot of games on the PlayStation just running like ass.
Yeah.
But you could be right, because I know that, what's it called? What was the name of that shit? I forgot. I know that it was a major coup that F-Zero X on the N64 was at
Yeah.
60 FPS solid,
Yeah.
which was like shit. And I know it was 480p, but still, it's like,
I mean, at the time, having a game run at 60 FPS on me, that's kind
yeah.
of crazy. Yeah.
I know, man. I was like, what the hell is this shit right here? I ain't never seen no shit like this before.
Yeah, it's like, man, I haven't seen anything run 60 FPS since the Super Nintendo. We're actually moving forward.
No, not really. Shit didn't run on 60 FPS on the Super Nintendo either. Remember that notorious slowdown? Now, if you had a Genesis, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, especially if you go into an area with Mode 7. But, like, some of the platformers and stuff. Like, if anything that was in 3D perspective, like your Star Fox or some of the racing games, like, that wasn't running at 60 FPS. That was running at like 15. Like Star Fox is like, that game's at least to me, looks like a hard game to play now nowadays.
You know something? Normally I would agree with you, but there is something about Star Fox that I still enjoy playing that game. Like,
Yeah.
despite all of its issues, I still enjoy playing Star Fox. I still think that it is... I know it has its issues. I know people are like, oh, Star Fox.
Yeah.
I still enjoy playing Star Fox. I still enjoy... Even with the slowdown, I still enjoy the game. I know some people are going to get mad. They're going to be like, how dare you? Look, I like Star Fox, okay? I prefer, believe it or not, I prefer the original version of Star Fox more than the other Star Foxes.
Yeah.
Some people are going to get mad when they hear that. And I don't care, but like I think because and here's the thing, I'm agreeing with you. The 60 FPS, the slowdown, it was not optimal, but the presentation for Star Fox for the SNES was better in my opinion. Like the wow factor was better, and the music is, in my opinion, much better. But I'm an audiophile, so like if your game could be trash, but if it has a good soundtrack, I'll let some shit slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, this music is banging. Okay, all right, but the game's kind of shit. I don't care, man. The soundtrack. You're talking to someone who played those Bramble levels in Donkey Kong Country 2, which is a good game, without the music, just for the music.
Yeah.
Like, I would pause it and listen to the music. That's how much I like the music of that game.
Yeah, sometimes I did that with certain games as well.
So, like, you're talking to a guy who loves music, so, like I can cover up a lot of sins for music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In gaming. And that's, is that right? No. But that's just, that's my bias. Everyone has a bias. My bias is I like music in video games. The better music is, the more I'm going to be like, I can let that slide.
Yeah.
Is it right? No, but I'm going to let it slide. That's basically how I am. Is it... But yeah, I agree with you that that it's here's the sad thing. We're getting less games now that are 60 frames, hell, even 30 frames locked than back in the day. More powerful hardware, shittier gameplay.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. But
All this
again,
power, and none of it can be used for jack shit.
yeah, exactly. Especially with the, all this talk about the consoles being, the SSD and all that other stuff.
I mean, hell, the SSD works on mine, but I have a gaming PC, which, the shit better work well,
Where was that 4K 60 FPS they were talking, they were bragging about? Oh, 4K 120 FPS, guys. We're almost here, guys.
Like,
we're here, guys. We made it. It's like, no.
yeah, as soon as someone says some shit like that, I'm like, you're full of shit, aren't you? What do you mean? Because no one's making those types of. Do you know how big games would have to be? Your games would take up like 4 terabytes if it was native 8K, and that's for like a that's for a mid-tier game. No studio, no mid-tier. Only a AAA publisher would do that, and only like a small percentage of people would be able to afford to fucking buy the damn game. So it's like. It's stupid shit like that. And when I hear, like, people, oh, I want 4K. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You think you do. You don't.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
So, got anything else you like to bring up before we close out the show?
No, that was it. I guess I'll just pimp out my stuff. Tomorrow's BS Busters, we'll be talking about some not really special interest stories, but just some interesting things I thought that people would want to hear about. Interesting things like shit. The problem with difficulty in video games. We're going to talk about why some games are really fucking hard, but they think that difficulty equals them doing some bullshit. Where you're like, okay, like, what made you want to do that? That type of thing. Like, or why did you, like, pet peeves that we have in gaming, like, them introducing a shitty mechanic at the end of the game that was never used in anything else. And they're like, yeah, this is the final boss, so we're going to introduce some shit that's like, I didn't see this shit coming at all. Or, vice versa, introducing a cool fucking mechanic at the end of the game. Where it's like, oh man, I wish you had done this in the other parts of the game. They were like, nah, we blew our load here.
Yeah. That's Kenoshi Abominito, here with another Project Console. Have a good week, have a good weekend, and have a good life. See you guys next week.